Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, pop and lock and salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map and stop the chatter, scream happily.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Welcome to the mashup. Welcome to the welcome to the mashup.
Welcome to the Mashup.
So, I have a ball game 2 nights ago. Check 20 minutes before the game. Environment and Climate Change Canada tells me that there is a 0% chance of rain after 7. 8 o'clock comes, like the whole night, 0% chance. Not even like a 1% chance of some small amount. 0. Environment and Climate Change Canada. The science is settled. You cannot question them. Game got called after 3 innings. Rain. Well, supposedly it was rain, but I think anybody pointing to the fact that the entire infield was underneath an inch of water within like an hour is just a conspiracy theorist.
Mashup 170, folks. Welcome. Twos. How's it going?
Hey, buddy, good to see you. That's a nice background.
It's almost like I can hear you in the background. It's super strange. Yeah. Anyways, we tried setting this up many a different way, but here we are. On one floor, twos. I could almost, I could probably stand and wave in the background.
I mean,
maybe I'll do it at some point. Mashup one.
If you just reached out in front of you. Oh yeah, I can see your hand there. Yeah.
Anyways, we're having a little bit of fun today. Mashup 170.
By the way, everybody who comes and does a podcast in person in the studio gets a little bit of silver. So if you look on that light in front of you to your right,
that would be a nice
Roosevelt dime that I got as
dime.
my change. And I feel like it must have just sat in like a gravel parking lot for like 30 years because that thing was beat to crap. But silver is silver.
What year is it, Twos? Did you check the year?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but
it's so scratched up you can't even see the year.
But it's definitely silver.
Well, there you go. A little from being in Twos' lair, folks. I got a nice little
well, I mean, you call it junk silver. Well, that thing's worth like $4, dude. Don't be ungrateful.
I'm not being ungrateful. I'm not ungrateful. I was just looking. Yeah, everybody. I'm very thankful to be here in Twos' lair for Mashup 170. Hopefully everybody else is having a great day. I did want to. Okay, so we at the start of all the shows, we always talk about Happy Airborne Friday to Jamie Sinclair and the team. Well, there we were on the way back last week. And that's the kids, Mel and I, at Jamie Sinclair's campground. So if you're in Regina Beach, look Jamie up. Just outside Regina, about 20, 25 minutes, something like that. Pretty cool spot. And he took us around Twos on a 6x6. This giant military, transport vehicle through his campground.
Did he just like hide it in his pants when he retired or what?
I don't know. Kids were in love with it though. Heck, Mel even enjoyed herself. So
hey, what is it? What is it this week with people just sneaking around giant green things?
Yeah. We'll get to that. Okay. Mashup 170. If you're enjoying the show, you're here this morning, make sure to like, share,
and throw a gunslinger shirt on the court.
There you go. Yes. Throw a guns. Yeah, that's right. Okay. We got lots to get to today, and obviously doing it from Twos' lair. I should have, had a special edition on the bottom corner there. Regardless, Coot 6.5, girl found guilty of manslaughter in Toronto swarming attack, sentenced to 16 months probation. So one of the ladies, all 8 girls were charged with second-degree murder, and 7 ended up pleading guilty to lesser charges, 5 to manslaughter, 1 to assault, and 1 to assault with a weapon and assault causing bodily harm.
This is crazy. I mean, sure, there's the part where there's an entire gang of teenage girls who attack a random homeless dude and murder him. But that's not even, and then get basically a slap on the wrist. But by far, the craziest part of this, here's a guy, Kenneth Lee, appears to be Chinese. The economy is so fucking bad in this country that we have homeless Asian people, Sean. Like all the piano lessons, all the violin lessons. This was a chess prodigy and a mathematical genius, probably knew Kung Fu, and it didn't even help him in the end. It is so bad trying to make a buck in this country that even the Asians are living on the street.
Eva Chipiak is going to be suing Dean Blundell. So that, well, I don't know, defamatory case. Okay, so here's a couple of statements that she is going after him for. He said, brain dead former truck convoy lawyer Eva Chipiak, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gents, I should say, banks will only bank you for two reasons. CRA told them to for tax evasion reasons, questionable deposits from questionable foreign entities. Eva is trying to start a riot of Maple MAGA disgust when she knows why she was debanked. Religious hillbilly make bad lawyers. So there's yeah, that's happening. We just had Eva on the mashup a couple weeks ago. So
yeah, and so she, rightly so, sent him a cease and desist and issue an apology notice. And then he kind of went crazy. He said, first off, he said, interesting to see Eva Chipuk launching a lawsuit. It seems freedom of speech only applies to some, while others face threats of slap for expressing dissent. This intimidation tactic won't silence those who stand against political opportunism. Right after, he said, I look forward to hearing from you, as do my lawyers. Sincerely, let's get the bottom of why you've been debanked together. Then we can discuss how you believe in a sky daddy who makes you bad choices for Jesus. So I don't know if you can really give somebody like a defamation suit when they're only slightly literate. That could actually be a legal defense for him. But almost instantly afterwards, he's saying, oh, well, this is just a slap suit and it's evil. And then he changes his tune again and says, the great part about your relationship is I get to sue both of you at the same time. So he went from, hey, let's do this, to, oh, they're coming after me, to, I'm going to sue you.
it's
So,
Dean Blundell. You know,
all over the map.
I hate to channel a little Vesper this week, but I'm like, I almost don't even want to talk about it because it's Dean Blundell. Like, who cares? I mean, got a ton of time for you, Eva, but after you see the pants off him, let's carry on because it's just Dean Blundell. Nobody cares. Guy is
He's got nothing left for.
He's irrelevant. He's irrelevant.
You're not really going to get anything from suing him.
You got a headline for the strike?
No, dude. I was busy making you eggs.
Oh, well, that's too bad. The strike that'll never end is year 10,824. They are still on strike and are not going to put up your flags. I tried,
Yes.
folks.
So
decades.
Yep. Go ahead.
For decades, residents living in rural areas in eastern Ontario could tell they had mail delivered if the flag on their mailbox was up. Now they're being told by Canada Post delivery agents they will no longer raise the flag because that was never what the indicator was meant for in the first place. I don't know what it was meant for, but okay. Whether it's to save time or money, I'm not sure, but it's not doing the workers nor the corporation any good, said David Carrier. Carrier received a letter from Canada Post indicating delivery agents will no longer raise the flag or the signal device on the mailboxes when mail is delivered. And it seems a little bit odd that given a time when the Canada Post is struggling to survive and wanting a large raise and wanting to gain more of the market share, that they're not going to offer less, or they're going to offer less service and less convenience to the public to deliver mail.
I think this is great. What they're doing is absolutely wonderful. You should be doing, if you work at Canada Post, you should be doing everything you can to piss off your last handful of remaining supporters.
Like the old folks who want to know the flag, that was never what the flag, if that isn't what the flag was intended for on your mailbox, what is that for? One.
Well,
two, you're going to piss off the people who don't mind, or that are not really interested in walking the 100 feet to the mailbox, because they're at that stage of life, I assume, which would be the last people supporting Canada Post.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful. Just keep alienating everybody, pissing everybody off. Nothing bad can come of this. Show people exactly who you are and then see if they'll support your need for billions of dollars in taxpayer bailout money. We've also got a video. It's a little bit long, but dude catches them red-handed, not delivering a package, but just hanging up the sorry we missed you. You have to go to the nearest Canada Post to pick up your parcel note. He meets her at the door and she's got the note in her hand saying, sorry, we missed you. And he's like, well, just give me the parcel. She's like, oh, I don't even have it here. And that's what I've been talking about that before, how they did that back when they still did Amazon deliveries. And that's why Amazon went away from using Canada Post. Just piss everybody off who gives you business, like Amazon, them having to deal with complaints. Because when I called Canada Post and said, look, this isn't like, I literally watched the guy come up, drop it off, and take off. Can you turn them around and give me the package? And they basically just told me to go fuck myself. And so then I called Amazon and they're like, yeah, we get complaints about this all the time. When the contract's over, we're going to go in a different direction. And that's when they busted out all the Amazon vans. Those were all jobs that Canada Post could have had if they weren't pricks. But they're pricks.
Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, probably saying that wrong, on Wednesday ruled out a bilateral trade agreement with Canada when asked about the possibility of following what she called a very good meeting with the top Canadian government ministers a day earlier. We have the trade deal with the United States, Canada, and Mexico. There is no need, Sheinbaum said during her morning press conference, where she said she discussed expanding direct trade with Canada.
I think this is great, especially when you look at the article from CTV, which is talking about the same thing, but it says the exact opposite. Mexico seeks more trade with Canada in face of Trump tariffs. Well, isn't it interesting that you have two articles in the same week talking about the same lady with the same shiny bum saying the exact opposite?
She does look like a pretty lady. I'm going to be honest.
Well, that's why her name's Shine Bum.
I guess so. Okay. Also, Toronto Sun. There's a welcome and growing realization in Canada that responding to the U.S. President Donald Trump's tariffs with dollar-for-dollar counter tariffs is bad public policy. A study by Montreal Economic Institute last month reported that Canada existing counter tariffs added $1.51 billion in new taxes to Canadians, or $91.50 per household in April and May alone.
Welcome to the mashup, folks. Like, are you guys just getting here? We've been talking about this forever. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation, which we got Chris Sims saying hi today, has been talking about this forever. It's a bad idea. We talked about how if Poilievre actually wanted to do something conservative during the lead up to the election, he could point this out, but he did not. And so, isn't it funny how whatever we talk about on the show, fast forward 2 months, and somebody in the mainstream media is grudgingly accepting hey, maybe this is what we should do.
I think you're saying just stick with us and we'll take you places. Yeah. Yes.
Now, Chris Sims was wondering about the shiny bum comment. Here you go. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum.
For sure we're butchering that name, but that's what it looks like.
No,
Chris.
It's definitely Claudia.
Nova Scotia Premier Tim Houston announces that citizens are now banned from entering the woods, including hiking, to prevent wildfires. Effective August 5th, violators can be fined upwards of $25,000. You can play the video if you like to.
We'll play some of it. You'll get the gist of it here.
Effective 4 p.m. today, we're telling Nova Scotians, stay out of the woods. We are restricting travel and activities that really aren't necessary for most of us. Hiking, camping, fishing, and the use of vehicles in the woods are not permitted. Trail systems through woods are off limits. Camping is allowed, but only in official campgrounds. The fine for violating any of these bans is the same as the fine for the ban on burning, $25,000. And if you're a smoker, for God's sakes, be mindful of where you're butting your butt out. If you don't.
Anyways, this goes on for a while, but the gist of it is that fishing is now illegal in Nova Scotia. You can't go fishing in Nova Scotia, which is on the ocean. And the reason why you can't fish in Nova Scotia is because of wildfires. Look, if your fishing is starting a fire, you need to set your drag right.
Yeah, you know what this reminds me of is when they closed down the playgrounds because of COVID.
Well, this is exactly the same kind of mindless bullshit. Like, are we supposed to trust the science? Like, the only way that we can go fishing is if we're ice fishing and then it's through a glory hole. He may as well start telling people to be speaking moistly, because that's actually going to be more effective than telling people not to fish. If we could just get everybody in Nova Scotia to speak moistly for 2 weeks, just 2 weeks to flatten the curve, just speak moistly for 2 weeks. We'll up the humidity in the air. The fires are going to die down. And then we can all get back to the new normal.
Please tell me somebody else watching or listening to this thought fishing through a glory hole. You'd never thought about it like that before, and that was clever. That was clever. Oh, that was good. That was good, Twos. Everything happening out in Nova Scotia, it's quite wild. Yeah. I can't imagine getting. What are you doing?
We just called the tip line.
Oh, the tip line in Nova Scotia. Yes.
Yes. It was great. We were going to tell them that we saw somebody going into the woods and that they were naked and we were worried they were going to start a fire. And they were going to say, well, where are you? And then I was going to say, I can see Lower Sackville from here. And then I was going to say that he's touching him. He appears to be touching himself inappropriately. And like, he's really going at it. There's a lot of friction. I think this thing could light a spark at any minute. And this was like literally the plan I had. I didn't tell Sean about it at all, but we were going to call the snitch line, which apparently in an effort to curb prank calls, I can't even call it. You can't even call it unless you're in Nova Scotia, I guess.
You know, when Canada, I've been back now for what, 5 days, folks, 6 days. When a small dose of Canada and you're like, what is going on? Like, I've been back like literally less than a week and insanity's breaking out everywhere. That's why you come here. So Twos can make us laugh and make you cry a little bit because yes, calling the snitch line. Yeah, and rubbing it up. All right.
Well, apparently it's a good thing I didn't, so that I didn't end up with more stitches.
How a fish fell from the sky and sparked a fire outside a BC village. Okay, I didn't think this was a real headline, and then of course I had to go read the story. It was determined that the fish was dropped by the osprey, a fish-eating bird of a prey common in the area, who was bringing back his catch from a nearby river. So I guess we got to go hunt all the osprey because we can't have forest fires starting from an osprey carrying a fish, dropping it, hitting a line, sparking, and then creating a forest fire. So kill all the osprey. Maybe kill all the fish too, because
I was just going to say the logical thing, like if you're going to follow government logic, you would say either you probably need to kill all of the seaweed, which is like the start of the biosphere that the fish eventually end up in, right? Speaking of seaweed, I think I'm going to start growing it in my yard. It's been raining nonstop.
I know the family farm could use a bit of that rain. Anyways,
well, you can take some of mine. I've got coral growing in the backyard.
Speaking of things,
more mushrooms than a music festival in the front yard.
Speaking of things raining, okay, it has been raining green dildos on the WNBA court.
Nicely done.
And I I don't want to go through every meme you had.
Well, that's a
because
damn shame, because guess what we're about to do?
okay, a meme. I'm just gonna sit here and Tuz is gonna rattle off
We're not-
all the green dildo memes to make you laugh
Okay.
a bit more. I want to point out that as a fan of sports, throwing a dildo on the court is a ridiculous thing, and we're gonna get to why that actually happened. But let's go through the memes first, and then we'll tell the story. And Tuz, fire away with the memes.
Okay, so this is an update. We started covering this last week. Sophie Cunningham said, "Please stop doing this. You're going to hit one of us." And then here is, she just got hit with a green dildo. Okay. This has now happened 5 times. You're actually getting to a point where Amazon was nearly sold out of green dildos. Amazon was running out of green dildos because they became so wildly popular and everybody's bringing them in and throwing them into games. In fact, the 5th time this happened in the past 2 weeks, it was a purple dildo, presumably because all the green ones were already sold. They couldn't get any more. I really want to show this clip though. This is the encapsulation of why it's happening.
Throwing things onto the court. Obviously, you guys know what the object is. And I just want to comment on, this has been going on for centuries. The sexualization of women. This is the latest version of that. And it's not funny. And it should not be the butt of jokes on any radio shows or in print or in any comments.
So what does Tuz do? He makes sure it comes on this show. Carry on, Tuz.
No.
This is just
the important part.
Women is what's used to hold women down. And
It's
this is no
used to
different. This is
hold
just its
women
latest
down.
story.
It's used to hold women down. Is that why none of you can dunk? Listen, this isn't misogyny. This isn't sexism. Sean's got his own conspiracy theory about this, but I'm going to tell you right now, the reason why that's happening is because you've got a bunch of wildly unsuccessful people who take themselves way too seriously and demand that you do it as well, despite the fact that they haven't earned the right. Do you think 8 air balls in a row is going to make you be respected on the international stage?
You're such a
No.
jackass.
So-
You're such a jackass. These what gets them in hot water isn't that they aren't great athletes. They are great athletes, but they demand to be paid like the top whatever superstars, and that's where everyone goes, "What? That doesn't make any sense."
Like, you
That's-
guys lose money every year. If
That's
the company
like the
loses money
Canada
every
Post
year,
saying, "Pay us more," and the longer we follow that story, you're like, "That doesn't make any sense." It doesn't mean they aren't great athletes, too. For sure, they're great athletes. They dummy me and you in basketball 100%. I've heard from lots of people who have gone to games and say it's great, right? It's a fun atmosphere to be in. Probably not with all the
you
maybe
know
more so with all
lots
the
of
great-
people who've been to WNBA games.
Minnesota is one of the best teams, if not the best team. Look at the back of what's going on right now on the screen, right? So
The fact that Minnesota is one of the best teams in the league tells you everything you need to know about the WNBA. So
I'm just
listen,
saying,
here's the
it's a
thing:
good
is that
athlete. It's the demand to be
come out-
equal pay as as LeBron James or something wild. You're like, what? No, that can't happen. I mean, like, that doesn't even make sense.
But here's the thing: when they're like, "Look at me, you're gonna take me seriously. You're gonna give me the same amount of respect as you give this person and that person because I fucking deserve it, and I'm gonna be an angry bitch about it." The funniest, silliest, most irreverent thing you can do to just completely mock the entire situation is to throw a giant green phallus the same color as LA Gear high tops onto the court in the middle of a game. It's the silliest response you could possibly have, which is why it's so on point for such a silly league. It's so on the nose, and that's why this is taking off. And they keep pushing back against it and saying, you can't keep doing this. This is what's keeping us down. No, maybe you guys just can't jump very high. Okay? And look, if you want this to stop, you get a shit ton of bright green balloons. You hide them up in the rafters, and then the next time it happens, you drop 1,000 green balloons.
Sure. Stop
just
the
have fun
entire.
No, you just have fun with it. You
Sure,
realize
sure,
that
you
it's
try and own it. You
silly
try and own it.
and
Sure.
funny.
Sure.
Silly and funny, and that's it. And really, I mean, how many of them are lesbians? They probably appreciate the fact that those are getting thrown out onto the court.
Well, here, let's get to the reason why this is happening, okay? After more than a week of
Conspiracy
WNBA games being interrupted by neon green sex toys, a cryptocurrency group has claimed responsibility. A spokesperson for the group behind the meme coin called Green Dildo, in an interview published Thursday, taking credit for what the group called pranks at 6 different WNBA games. We didn't do this because we dislike women's sports or like some other narratives that are trending right now are ridiculous, he said. Creating disruption at games is like it happens in every single sport, right? We've seen it in the NFL, we've seen it in hockey, fans doing random things to more or less create attention. We knew that in order to get a voice in the space, we had to go out and do some viral stunts to save us from having to pay the influencer cabal, sacrifice our souls of the fate of this project, more or less. So it's all about a cryptocurrency coin named Green Dildo.
And look at the effect it's actually had.
I mean, it's been talked about everywhere, right? I mean,
Nope.
Yeah. I don't, do you own some Green Dildo? Probably not.
I mean, I'd like to. I mean, sorry, what were we talking about? Here we go. Okay. 18-year-old Caden Lopez has been arrested for throwing the dildo at WNBA star Sophie Cunningham at last night's WNBA game. He's been charged with assault and disorderly conduct. Bro got arrested for being the most accurate shooter at a WNBA game. It's on point. It tracks.
Have you had enough?
I've got
like it if
literally 20 tabs open just for this.
Could you show the Bush one, the President Bush? I like that one. That was a good one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, right here.
You go.
Yeah, I like that.
The classic 9/11 picture. A fourth dildo has hit the court. But I mean, they're great. Instead of the "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirt, this one says "Pay Us in green floppy dildos." Pulp Fiction. Yep. Me and the boys on our way to the WNBA game. A whole bunch of Alex Joneses carrying green dildos. SpongeBob, old reliable. It's a green dildo. Joe Biden sticking his tongue out onto the green dildo. Family Guy meme. Gatorade, is it in you? Green dildo. And then that classic video of that woman throwing that absolute t-shirt cannon missile like
Correct.
a million yards away, except they put a green dildo in there. And I love how they went to the detail of like as it's flying, it's doing that slow flop back and forth.
Oh my God. All right. Enough.
Okay, fine.
Oh my God. Okay, let's talk about some random virus, chikungunya out in China again. But they're spraying people with insect repellent as they enter the city. Drones are hunting for puddles. Hospitals locked down with mosquito nets. This is China's response to a virus one that can easily spread here if they fail to contain it.
I just want to point out the fact that 5 years ago, they were sending us videos of people welding people's doors shut.
Doors shut, yes.
Does anybody you know have a door capable of being welded shut?
No.
Anybody at all? Like, a single person who has a door that could be welded shut if they wanted to.
Prophet River has a metal gate. Okay.
All right. Okay.
They have a metal gate.
And Silver Gold Bull probably has a few entry and exit ways that
Fair
could
enough.
be welded shut.
Yes.
But the regular folks, no. And so, look, I get it. You guys have a smoke machine. That's real fancy. We've been using them in Westerns and sci-fi movies for decades. Congratulations. You stole that technology too. The problem is, maybe this thing is actually really bad. But how many viruses are we going to say are originating in China that we're not going to call the China virus that need to be taken super seriously?
Sydney
this-
Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney.
Okay, all right. I
Show
can do this.
show American Eagle has shared the response to Sydney Sweeney's great jeans controversy.
Okay. Sorry, we're just going to look at this for another second. Okay. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, is and always was about the jeans. Her jeans, her story. Will continue to celebrate how everyone wears their AE jeans with confidence their way. Great jeans look good on everyone. This is them not apologizing.
Correct. Maybe they're starting to learn a lesson. Maybe everybody's starting to learn a lesson. I assume they like their stock going up.
Yeah, I imagine that also being probably completely sold out of every pair of jeans size 18 and less has been a good thing for the company as well.
would think
Maybe
so.
if things go really well, they'll get other hot chicks involved. Maybe Selma Hayek could do a run of them. Wouldn't that be nice?
You Selma Hayek? You a Selma Hayek fan?
Have you ever seen From Dusk Till Dawn?
Yeah.
It's the greatest piece of cinematic.
Oh my
Excellent.
goodness. All right.
And
All
there's-
right. Alberta wants a
Okay,
the
fine.
greatest piece
Whatever.
because
Okay,
because
fine, fine. We can say that between the two of us, the greatest pieces of cinematic experience are the From Dusk Till Dawn with Selma Hayek and the volleyball scene from Top Gun. Now we've got equal representation across the mashup. Happy?
you don't want to you don't want to know what my kid crush was. You want to point to my kid
Val
crush
Kilmer.
being
Val
Val
Kilmer.
Kilmer or Maverick.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
You
Let's
probably
move
seem
on,
like a
Coos.
Meg Ryan kind of guy.
A Meg Ryan, really? All right. Alberta
Like,
wants
it would have
out.
been better if you'd have said Val Kilmer.
Alberta wants out. A recent survey conducted by Kolosowski Strategies. Anyways,
Actually,
revealed-
it's probably Kolosowski.
revealed a narrow majority of Albertans expressing support to remain with Canada. The survey revealed that 45% of Albertans expressed their support for Alberta's independence from Canada and established as an independent nation. I'd like to point out that's up from the
A
study
lot.
that was the study. So
Like,
they're
in the
like
past few
narrowly. It's 45%.
Which is getting pretty close. Getting pretty
Yes, it is.
close. Yeah, and this is quite a bit. It's especially interesting considering the fact that you've got only 39% in Edmonton and only 45% in Calgary. The rest of Alberta, which also includes several major cities, is 52%.
Yeah, they went up.
Yeah, isn't it funny how only 2% of Liberal voters think we should leave, and 70% of Conservative voters think we should leave? I don't know, because the Liberals are like, well, I don't feel unrepresented by Ottawa. I feel like this is great. And the number of civil servants in Edmonton, well, I mean, they're not going to vote for their gravy train to come to a grinding halt. Of course they aren't.
Trump administration announces $50 million reward for capture of Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. The Trump administration on Thursday offered a $50 million reward for information leading to the arrest of Nicolas Maduro.
Yeah, this is I didn't even realize this, but following the indictment, President Trump's first administration had initially offered a $15 million reward for his capture. Then the State Department, when Joe Biden was in charge, raised the bounty to $25 million. This is a bipartisan effort that they just want this guy. They want to capture him and this. Venezuela's been a shit show since he took over. We all agree on that. The only people who don't are Maduro and presumably his rich daughter. Or is it Che that has the rich daughter? Either way, it's the same. They're all cut from the same cloth. But this is a Republican and a Democrat thing.
Prime Minister Mark Carney suggested Tuesday he is considering substituting or rescinding the Online News Act to ensure local news is disseminated wider and faster 2 years after Meta banned access to news on its platforms. During his press conference, Carney also reiterated his government's campaign commitment to boost funding for CBC Radio Canada and change its governance so that it could provide unbiased, immediate local information during crises such as the ongoing BC wildfires.
Chris Sims agrees with you that Tom Cruise is hot. So thanks for that, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting. I'd love to look at a parallel universe where Polyev had won the election and see if he was doing as many common sense things as Mark Carney is. Because Mark Carney, because he's a liberal, gets a pass no matter what. If the liberals bring in the online news act, then their supporters are going to say it's awesome. And if he rescinds it, they're going to say it's awesome. And if he brings in a carbon tax, it's awesome. Rescinds the carbon tax, also awesome. And so you've got this group of people who's capable of holding simultaneous and opposing views. And so he's kind of the only person who could kind of get away with this. And technically, Facebook didn't really ban news advertisements. They just said, look, if you're going to do this, you have to pay every time it happens. It'd be like if there was a free roller coaster out in front of your house and you would ride the roller coaster. And then somebody shows up one day and they're like, yeah, well, every time you're going to ride this roller coaster, it's going to cost you $1. And you say, you know what? I don't really need to ride that roller coaster anymore. And you don't ride that roller coaster. Are you the bad guy now? This is them being compliant with the law that got put in place, which being compliant with mandates from Ottawa is exactly what the liberals fucking love, isn't it?
In the National Post, puppies secretly tested and killed at an Ontario hospital for human heart research. I thought this was only happening in the United States. I mean, I knew it was going on in other places, but this is in Ontario. London, Ontario, to be exact. Surrounded by security staff, on an unmarked white van pulls up to a receiving door behind St. Joseph's Hospital. Scrub-clad staff quickly remove large boxes covered with blankets from the van and slide them into the building. Hidden beneath those blankets are puppies in cages headed for the hospital's 6th-floor research lab, according to 2 staffers. Researchers inside the hospital's Lawson Research Institute have been studying heart attack recovery in humans and use the dogs as stand-ins. They induce up to 3-hour-long heart attacks in the animals before killing them and removing their hearts, according to internal photos, documents, and 2 current staff members who work there. And the public, the funding research is publicly funded.
Of course it is. This is the kind of thing that the liberals would love to get behind. Killing puppies? Like, look, I don't know what the right answer is as far as animal testing goes. There's the argument that, oh, this could save lives. If you're going to do something like this, you've come up with some really definitive proof that what you're doing is working, that you've got some really tangible results. If you're going to kill a bunch of animals and cut out their hearts, you're going to give them 3-hour-long heart attacks, then kill them, then cut out their hearts. You better have some extensive documentation showing exactly how many lives this is saving and how it's all working. And secondly, you don't pick fucking puppies. You pick like literally any other animal. Pick an animal that everybody present company excluded, hates, like the gopher. You want to give gophers 3-hour-long heart attacks and then cut out their hearts? I'm all for that. That's great. That's wonderful. I know a ball diamond where you could get a few right now.
I don't know. Torturing dogs to save human lives. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Like, pick literally any other animal. Like, you had to have on purpose landed on the cutest version of the most beloved animal in the entire animal kingdom. That can't be an accident. This is a really dark, sick, twisted people.
Canada Border Services Agency. Crossing the border between Canada and the United States between ports of entry is not only illegal, but also dangerous. Those who organize the illegal crossings of foreign nationals will be prosecuted. And then they'd arrested, I think it was 4, wasn't it, Tews?
2 charges against 3 individuals on August 3rd for attempting to facilitate the smuggling of 44 foreign nationals. This is like, where has this been for the past decade? We had Roxham Road where there was literally a taxi service on the New York side that was taking people to the border so that they could walk across. We actually had food stands set up by the RCMP to say, okay, well, yeah, you guys have had a long and difficult journey here from Albuquerque, so we're going to feed you. And then the illegal immigrants were complaining that there weren't enough halal options. This all literally happened over the course of years. And then now we're actually getting to a point where the liberals are saying, this is fucking retarded and we're going to stop doing it.
Canadians drastically downgrade climate as a priority, poll finds as economic concerns escalate. A new Ledger poll released Friday asked Canadians about what they thought were the biggest challenges facing Canada. Trade and tariff issues and U.S. relations were number one, and just at 20%, just 4% of respondents listed climate change or extreme weather as their number one issue facing Canada today, putting it in an 8th place among the 14 top issues offered as choices.
Climate change is a boutique concern. You don't worry about it while you're worried about paying your mortgage or heating or powering your house. It's only after that you worry about, like, well, I don't know. What are we doing for this? And are we reducing our emissions? And can we have a lopsided argument that's going to lead me to a foregone conclusion? If you've got actual real concerns, this falls by the wayside real fast. You skipped one, though. Enbridge sees strong demand in U.S. and hurdles in Canada. Maybe it's because I added it this morning. We were kind of a little bit disjointed as we put everything together. The gist of this article is that Enbridge and TC Energy. Did you notice? Okay, well, I guess I can't read it here, but I read it before. Did you notice that TC Energy rebranded themselves from TransCanada to TC? Why do you think they did that, Sean?
I don't know, Tiz. Tell me why.
So
I feel like I feel like you had a clever joke coming, but maybe I was wrong on that.
No, it's not a clever joke thing. It's that if you've got the word Canada in your company name, it's harder to market it in the United States.
Mhm.
And they're doing basically all of their.
So they changed their name from, say it again, from
TransCanada to TC
I feel
Energy.
like both of those words would be hard to market to the United States right now.
The point is that Enbridge and TC are specifically citing regulatory hurdles as the reason why there is no appetite for pipeline development in this country, and they're focusing all of their capital on the United States. They're actually admitting it openly now, what we've been saying for years. You know, they kind of skirted around it and, oh, I don't know, and nothing was really said outright. They're explicitly saying now that the regulations and the legislation need to change. And until that happens, we're going to be doing basically all of our work in the United States and none of it in Canada.
I'm doing my best, folks, to keep twos yelling at a minimal echo. But anyways, goofy news. Stressed adults.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, please continue.
Don't. Whoa. I will walk up there and swat you. You know what? That might be coming in this show yet, folks. Stressed adults rely on pacifiers to soothe themselves. I feel a sense of safety from childhood. I don't need to read the article. This is about as goofy as it gets.
Yep. Yeah, that's basically it. They talk about a niche quirk. The silicone soothers are supposedly now big business on Chinese e-commerce giants like Taobao and JD.com, where they're priced anywhere from a budget-friendly 10 yuan to a luxury 500 yuan. If you're going to put a bunch of pacifiers in your mouth, don't go with the Asian ones because they're smaller than everybody else's.
Women shouldn't hold office, says GOP woman now running for office.
Yeah. So she did an interview on some obscure podcast. I love how it just randomly took a dig at the podcast too. Did you notice that part? Where it said, oh, let's see here. Exactly 1 year ago, Biggs appeared on the little-known East Valley-based podcast called the Maddie McCurdy Program. Like, just a needless knife twist.
Thank you for
But-
that plug and knife twist.
But yeah, she said that women shouldn't run for
Office.
elected
And
office, and
now
now
she's running for
elected office. Yeah.
Killer wants reduced sentence due to harsh jail conditions. This is in Toronto. Convicted of manslaughter, the gunman is asking for a light 6 to 7 year sentence with a year's credit for being triple bunked.
It's just horrible, these conditions that people have to deal with in prisons. It's just absolutely reprehensible. I feel like if you were to give people options, they would rather not be in prison. And maybe the next time you're thinking about shooting somebody for disagreeing with you at a fucking bar, you think about the fact that prisons aren't supposed to be nice places.
Have you watched Happy Gilmore 2 yet?
No,
Okay.
I don't have Netflix.
Okay. Ben Stiller,
Yeah.
the iconic line back in the first movie. My
Read the name tag.
My
Well, now your
fingers
back's
hurt.
gonna
Well,
hurt.
now your
'cause you
back's
just
gonna
pulled
hurt. 'cause
that
you-
lawn duty.
Thank you. You complain about Canadian prison? We just send you to El Salvador. See how you like those jail conditions, and maybe the complaining would stop. Just an idea.
Maybe you could go to a Mexican prison.
Grizzly bear charges at Seattle Kraken's mascot during their hockey team's fly fishing trip in Alaska. You want to show the video too?
Yeah, I want to show the video. This is a grizzly bear chasing a hockey team mascot, an NHL team mascot. Watch this. There's a grizzly bear running at him. And he's just slowly wading away. Like, turn and... Look, if you're getting charged by a bear, he's off to a good start. If you get charged by a bear, you want to make yourself as big as possible. And in that sense, wearing a mascot outfit is a great idea. If you're going into the woods of Alaska and you're going to go where the bear like to eat, which is the fucking river, you want to make yourself appear as large as possible. And so putting on a comically large stuffed prosthetic head is a great idea. I think it's wonderful. And if it's floofy enough, that bear's got to dig through for like 5 minutes before he even finds any meat. It's like when the dog's chewing up a squeaky toy. It's stuffy and it's got the squeaky in the middle, and he's got to just chew and chew and tear and tear and tear before he finds the thing that goes, wah, wah, wah. That bear almost had to do the same thing with that guy.
Well, speaking of things terrorizing people, and to kind of incorporate the WNBA, a naked man, masked, armed with sex toy on stick, terrifies European tourists, terrorizing hikers and visitors at the tourist spot in Slovakia.
I don't think it's crazy for me to say that this terrorizes that this fills everybody with terror.
Anti-Israeli demonstrators have blocked the Vancouver Pride Parade. No pride in genocide.
Yes, so I predicted this quite some time ago. I said, isn't it going to be hilarious when the Palestinian protesters inevitably meet up with the gay pride parades? Because they both want the spotlight, and Palestine kind of has a track record of not really loving the gays. So it's illegal. It's punishable up to, I think, 10 or 40 years in prison. I can't remember which. But that's even if it goes to conviction, because gay people have a tendency to fall off of buildings in Palestine. And so you look at this gay pride parade meeting up with Palestinian protests. Look, if you want to show up half naked in front of a bunch of people that, if you were to do it in their own country, would kill you, you should just be glad that this happened at ground level.
Bloodied man arrested after being beaten by Oklahoma City man he harassed for days. A man who initially told police a man assaulted him unprovoked was later arrested after police determined he had been harassing a man with a developmental disability for days.
Yeah, so there was a special needs guy who was a janitor at a strip club in Oklahoma. This is not the setup of a joke. This is literally the story. special needs guy who's janitor at a strip club in Oklahoma. Apparently he's an Oklahoma sexual. And so he was getting harassed by this guy and bothered by this guy until he beat the ever-loving piss out of him. And then dude goes to the cops and complains. And then the truth comes out that, he has been going out of his way to bother this guy who worked at the Secrets Gentlemen's Club, which I got to show you this. This is pretty much classic United States right there. Secrets Gentlemen Club, and a whole bunch of U.S. flags, and happy hour noon till I think 2 p.m. I can't quite tell. And they sell Busch Light according to the signage. And so I can't remember. I didn't see this video clip. I hope they show a picture of this guy's face because it looks like he actually got attacked by a bear. No, they just showing some exterior photos. Imagine you just pop in there for their lunch steak sandwich and then your wife's watching the news and she's like, honey, why is the car parked in front of this place? Well, I mean, Thursdays, it's 2-for-1 steak sandwiches.
Indigenous truck driver shares importance of being able to take license tests in Ojibwe. That's Service Ontario.
Yes, so you can now take your driver's license test in any of 31 different languages in Ontario. Now, as far as I know, all of the stop signs are still just in the one language. So I feel like regardless of
That's not
what
true.
language.
That's not true. I was just west of Ponoka, I think it was. No, south of Ponoka, somewhere right around Ponoka. And we went through one of the reserves there, and it had stop and underneath it in a different language. And I assume,
Okay.
It's changing. It is very much changing too.
Does that seem normal?
Get involved in politics more, folks, if you don't want it to change. And otherwise, I don't know. Wait, I mean, 31 languages? Does that seem normal? No, it doesn't.
Are there going to be 31 stop signs at every intersection, Sean?
No, I would think not. Talking about stopping traffic, hot dog spill shuts down I-83 in Pennsylvania. Commuters' worst nightmare.
You missed one. Okay, all right. That's literally the headline. This is a Choose headline. Pennsylvania commuters' worst, as in liverwurst, nightmare. And I mean, there's more hot dogs flying around than a 613 party right there.
There's more hot dogs flying around than a WNBA game?
Yeah, basically. You need some green spray paint, and you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Frida has released a limited edition
breast milk ice cream.
Breast milk ice cream. Are you kidding me?
No. Apparently they say this stuff is the breast. What, you don't think it's going to be a big hit? You think they're going to invest a whole bunch of money into marketing this and then they're going to go tits up?
Yes.
Was this on purpose that we found out about it now, or was this leaked?
Denmark Zoo asked people to donate their small pets as food for captive predators.
Yeah, that's an actual fucking thing. What do you even say to that? Like, the dog he's been having some pancreatitis issues lately. His tummy's a little bit rumbly tumbly from getting too many treats, too many maple bacon donuts, and too much high fatty stuff. And so he just threw up on the carpet upstairs this morning twice. But even though that's kind of disappointing,
you're not taking him to the zoo?
I'm not going to say, here, why don't you feed him to a fucking tiger? What the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, you know what? This is probably the same people who are doing the testing in London.
I feel like I missed one or two at the very end when we were having all the issues. Did I miss any before we get to happy news?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I kind of figured
you missed the Forever Canadian Facebook page. So this is the people who are doing the online or who are doing the petition to say that Alberta should not have a referendum on separation. Okay. This is their Facebook page. Now, if you go into the details about this page, you can see that it has existed for a little over a decade because it used to be Thomas Lukaszik's campaign page. And so Thomas Lukazik, who's now running the Let's Keep Alberta in Canada and not give anybody a chance for a referendum petition, he hasn't taken down any of the old posts. He just rebranded it. You know, that way it's got more people joined in it and it looks better. So the unintended effect of this is that you can look at the Forever Canadian Facebook page and see this post. It's getting closer. To vote in the progressive conservative leadership, you need to be a member of the PC party. You can watch my new video for some of the reasons why you should become a member and vote for me. If a purple jacket isn't your thing, there are 42 specific commitments on my campaign website. Visit votethomas.ca. Alberta, tomorrow in Alberta is going to be great. The Let's Keep Alberta Part of Canada petition people have posts up on their Facebook page telling people to join the Conservatives. Now, it's interesting. There's a link here. What do you think might happen if I click on this link, Sean? It's an old post. It's over a decade old. Any guesses? Any guesses if I go to this website?
Click away, twos.
This is Thomas Lukaszik's fucking Facebook page. Yes. So here's Meet Rachel Thomas.
All right.
Okay. We got another one. So I'm echoing again, but whatever. Medicine Hat Safeway. They had an Alberta flag up there. Thomas Lukaszik's cronies had complained to Safeway, not went to talk to a manager, went and complained to Safeway corporate about it. And then it got taken down. And then after a little bit of consideration, they realized that that was fucking insane and that you should be able to fly an Alberta flag in Alberta. And it went and got put back up. You know, granted, there was the knee-jerk taking it down for a brief period of time, but sober reflection, they said, fuck you, it's going back up. So this whole kneeling to the woke mob and the histrionic assholes and idiots, it's slowly winding down. So if you go to the Medicine Hat Safeway, you can see there's an Alberta flag flying proudly. And if you come to the Twos Cave to record the mashup, you'll see two flags out front because we don't fuck around. And it's actually been like that since before it became a political statement, even though it technically was a political statement even then. Here's another one. Donor organs are too rare. We need a new definition of death, from the New York Times. This is literally the Monty Python skit where they're saying, bring out your dead. And he says, oh, I've got one for you. And the guy says, I'm actually not dead. Yes, he is. I'm feeling much better. No, you're not. Shut up. This is that. We're basically saying that we need to harvest more people's organs. And the best way to do it is to just really loosely define what exactly constitutes being fucking dead. Because then, if someone's only mostly dead, it's the Princess Bride. How many movies have made fun of this exact concept? And now you've got people in the New York Times advocating for this exact thing. Was this written by Billy Crystal? Maybe. Eric Idle? Possibly. But I don't think it was a fucking skit. These people are dark. There's the Denmark Zoo. And, oh, we got this one here. You haven't seen it.
Here we go.
All right.
How to eat a club sandwich with proper etiquette. I consider myself something of an expert on eating, so let's crack into this. Okay, so he's going to show us how to eat it now, charmingly. It looks nice. Oh, look at his little fucking sauces, aren't they nice? Right, let's get into it. What are you doing with them? Put them fucking down! You must not use weaponry against a sandwich. Pick it up with your fucking hands. We must stop this overuse of forks. People would be staring at you eating a sandwich like that. If somebody sees you eating a sandwich like that, they're gonna fucking rob you. Pick it up with your hands and shove it into your mouth. If the people around you can't handle looking at that, they'll be fucking no good to you in an emergency. I'm sorry, but if I'm going into battle, I'm not bringing people who fucking make me eat with my mouth closed. You can use your hands for stuff. It's fine. Just fucking clean them. They're not made of poison. Hands are very civilized. Look at a shark. Doesn't have any hands. Why? Because probably he's a cunt. Follow me. I'm delicious.
I told you that he said he'd come on. I finally tracked him down. Now that I'm back, and I believe he's back too because he was on some travels. But we'll see if we can't line that up here for Friday.
I hadn't seen any videos from him for a long time, and now I saw this one, so I'm wondering if maybe he is back. Chris Sims has got to go record the CTF podcast. Happy Friday, everyone. I've got to call you out on this, Chris. I got to pick a bone with you. You have been on our show how many times, and you have never mentioned the fact that you have a Canadian Taxpayers Federation podcast. Next time you're on, I hope you watch the end of this. I hope you come back and watch the end of this right now, because you personally, the next time you're on, you better plug that podcast, or I will be even more upset with you.
Happy news, Twos. Gina Carano. Disney settle. I don't know why I'm reading it like that. Gina Carano and Disney settle legal dispute over Mandalorian firing. We will look forward to identifying future opportunities to work together.
Yes, they settled out of court, which meant it never went to discovery. So it was probably a pretty hefty sum to just have her shut up and go away. But Elon Musk started this thing where he said that if anybody gets fired because of tweets that they did, he wants to know about it, and he's going to support their legal battle. And this was the first big high-profile one, and it was a big win. So big win for free speech, big win against woke idiocy, and I mean, let's be honest. She's not quite Selma Hayek, but she's right up there.
She's no Val Kilmer, but she's right up there.
Seeing her in more film is something I can definitely live with.
Any community notes? We if you got
the other happy news.
Oh, what's the other happy news?
Speed enforcement cameras damaged in Guelph. Oh, isn't that a damn shame? Somebody cut it down, knocked it over, ripped out the window, and then spray painted it. They went all out. This is just the only thing I have yet to see. And I don't know if whoever's been doing this is listening or not, but you definitely should not do this. But the only thing I have really not seen in terms of cutting them down is using det cord, which obviously would be a horrible idea. And do not, under any circumstances, wrap det cord around the post of a speed camera and then light it up. It would absolutely obliterate it, and nobody wants to see that.
Any community notes, too? So anything going on? Before you get to anything, a shout out to we got a high school camping trip this weekend. So henceforth, me being in the area of Twos' hideout. And so shout out to the group of friends and kids there. We got, what did I say today? 12 kids on the camping trip. So it's there's a lot going on an hourly basis. That's for sure. But how about anything from the community?
Well, it's not really an event. It's more of like a congratulations. It was from last week, but I forgot to do it last week. So U18 Football Canada Cup, not last Sunday, but the Sunday before, Alberta beat Ontario to win gold. Sask beat fucking Quebec to win bronze. Manitoba beat New Brunswick to get 5th, and BC beat Nova Scotia to get 7th. So the West just, it all staggered, but the West came out on top in every instance.
Perfect.
Twos. So congratulations to everybody playing and coaching.
And everyone else. Mashup 170 in the book. Fridays 10 a.m. Next week, I'm back in studio, and we won't have the echo, although I think some people were enjoying the echo. I don't know if that's true or not. Either way, any final thoughts before we get out of here and Get out and vote. Battle River Crowfoot Peeps. That's Squirrel Nuts. There you go.
The early election or the early voting for the by-election is starting. So
get out and vote.
Yeah.
And we're here every Friday, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We're back at her. Appreciate you guys all hopping in. Twos, Mashup 170 in the books. Looking forward to 171 when we're back in our regular positions. Either way, thanks for having me at the Twos Hideout. And you should show off the hat. I came back from came back from holidays and I brought this hat for Twos. There you go. Fluent in foul language. Thought that was rather clever.
It hits both it hits both barrels with that whole rooster and the expletives.
Correct. Twos.
Yes, thanks for that.
We'll catch you
now.
next
Get
week.
out of my house.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Tell me whether I'm wrong or right. East or west, up or down, side to side. I sit to stand and fall to fly. Of all of my impulsive plans, popping, locking, salsa dances on demand. I follow leading off the map and stop the chatter, scream happily.
Welcome to the Mashup.
Welcome to the mashup. Welcome to the